Everyone knows the circus as a place of freedom, a world where anything can happen. That was never true for everyone. Not written on paper, but enforced in every contract, every casting call, every circus route. Rules that said you can make them laugh, but not too close. You can perform, but not under the main tent. This is the story of the unspoken laws, hidden rules that kept black clowns out of the big tent. Circus called itself the Great Equalizer. White audiences would come from every class to watch the so-called oddities, foreign acts, novelties. To the public, it looked like the most diverse show on earth. But inside the circus world, there is this quiet, deliberate segregation. Black performers were allowed in traveling shows, but only if they stayed separate from the main trope. They could perform in the sideshow, colored tent, or after hours. It was not written in law books exactly, it was written in stone. But pretty much in the clown world, in the circus world, this is how shit went. It's built into the logistics and how the circus world went. Who shared tents and which wagons get to enter the tent first. Even when the audiences couldn't feel it, the performers felt it. So the circuses are pretty much a business, and the owners didn't want to risk controversy. When the circuses went through the South, black clowns couldn't even travel on the same train cars as the white ones. They had to set up their own tents or sleep in nearby fields. Some cities wouldn't even allow them to perform for white crowds at all. When they did, they had to enter through the back, form their set, and disappear before the audience left. Big tent became a symbol, not of freedom, but of exclusion. But nobody cares about us enough to talk about it. The real hard truth of it all. For black clowns, comedy was survival. Many were forced into minstrel style acts, and I talk about this constantly on my YouTube channel. Just scroll and you'll find it there. Painted faces, exaggerated lips, mocking songs, because that was the only way they were really allowed to work. But underneath the paint, some of them were flipping the script. They used their own acts to mock racism themselves. Subtle gestures, improvised lines, double meanings the white audiences didn't even notice. Rebellion hidden in laughter. Owners hated that. Any act that got pushed too far or too smart was fired or blacklisted. So the cycle continued. The only clowns that were allowed were the ones who made people comfortable, the ones who challenged them. Even as circus faded, DeVille rose. Rules followed. Theaters had colored nights, specific days when black performers could take the stage. Only for black audiences. They had to use separate entrances. Could not share dressing rooms. Rarely got equal. White clown could bomb one night and get called back. A black clown could bring the house down. He told, "We don't have a slot for you next week." Not even a sorry. There was a quiet censorship. Deny opportunity without ever saying why. By the 1960s and 70s, few black clowns started forcing their way into the mainstream, touring with mixing tropes, performing on television, and demanding equal pay. Even then, they faced backlash and management pushback. Clown colleges rarely recruited them. Promotional posters still showed white lineups, all white clowns, even if the black performers were a part of the show. The phrase big tent ain't symbolic. But its magic was built on selective visibility. Black clowns weren't missing history because they didn't exist. They were hidden, separated, victims of rules no one ever written down. And even if they did, it's disgusting and wrong. And keep it a bean. Everyone followed it. So if anyone is romanticizing the big tent, making it seem it was all equal, remember this video. This history isn't about who performed. It's about who wasn't allowed to also.